Supposedly we have sound here. Maybe? By the way, hi. Sorry, I'm tired. Um, Welcome everyone to today's stream. Oh, hang on, I need to announce that it's the stream too. Hang on. There we go. Just letting everybody know I'm here. Alrighty, let's see here. I need some stone, but I'm really not finding rocks. There's a couple. So this is a different world, different kind of world than the one I was playing just barely. And the reason being is I wasn't super impressed with the time frame of that last world, and I had gotten to the point where I had basically, my world was, oh dear, my world was quickly getting to where I was really running out of things to focus on. Which I know is not super fair, but, you know, I was just like, yeah. So pretty quick I was burning out on that last world, so. So this is a new rail world. And we'll see how this one goes. I adjusted some mods. I added rampant, so the enemies are meaner. And then I took out the other one. What was it called? I took out rampant, or I put in rampant, and I took out the space science one. And it's just because the space science one was just kind of like, eh. So, I was just like, whatever, I don't care. Now, this is something that's been happening a lot in my worlds. I don't know why they do this, but the water and the coal are like nowhere near each other. So I'm going to have to build like my first generator setup over here, and I'm going to have like a mile-long thing of coal to get to it. I will say, though, that I can immediately start with dynamo generators, which I'm planning to do, because the dynamo generators are really good. Alrighty, let's get... I need to get enough so I can drop one thingamajiggy here. Perfect. Alright, I want one of you into a chest, please. Petros ST. Liverpool versus Spur. Now who are you rooting for? That's the question. Who are you rooting for? I really don't want that using my wood. Preferably not my wood. But yeah. Because that's the real question, right? Mr. Petros? Mr. or Mrs., whatever the case may be. Who are you voting for of that duo? Alright, I need stone. Okay. Alright, I'm thinking we're gonna go like... I'm thinking we're gonna go one full lane up and then go over. because there's a pretty good chance that starting off here, I'm going to want to wall myself in, and I don't want the water to stop me from walling myself in. So we're gonna build this accordingly so that that's not a problem. Let's try that. I was gonna say, I feel like the music's doing something weird today. But let's see here. I need... a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Okay. We're gonna do at least one, if not two, in. Sure, we'll do it this way. Alright, so we're gonna go like this because we can go 3, throw the wall here, and still have access to throw down some turrets across the edge if we need to. That's what I'm thinking. Let's do that. And then we're going to go... Oh, nope, nope, not that one. Perfect. Alright. Let's grab a pair of miners. Grab some rail. Now we immediately have electric stone furnaces because of the mods I'm using. So that will allow us to have some more powerful stuff right off the bat, which is cool. So let's see here. We want... I'm not going to have access to any of that for a while. Alright, let's do this. Let's grab... Basically, as soon as possible, I want to be swapping over to these guys. Like that. Okay, we have power. Like that. This will give us a better source of iron starting off immediately. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll set up the same kind of a basis over here with the copper. The idea being that I want to get off of the burners as soon as possible and immediately go to the electric. And so, whoops. Okay, that gives me 2. And then I want to drop another power like that. In fact, let's go like that. That way I can throw another one next to it, and I won't feel bad about connecting in that way. Okay, so that looks good there. We got 3 of those guys. That, and then I need iron. Okay, cool. Alright, so that looks good there. We got those ones there. Question is, what's our output? Only 500? We'll take it. It's better than nothing, and it just has to run for a minute, that's all. Okay, so that's just a little bit of iron going. This guy's going here. Okay, and then I want to throw down... I want 1 stone going as well in the background here. The idea here is I need stone going in the background so that I'll be able to start producing stone for the walls as well as for some of my turrets here pretty quick. Alright, so we've got that. I want... And then for here, we're going to throw a line down and across and over down to here. We're going to run it along the outside, though, I'm thinking. So we're going to go out by... like that. And then we'll connect in with our coal, and then go across, and then down and feed into here. That way it's out of the way of the iron, so we can harvest the iron, pass it over, and then we'll start building our bus immediately. Problem is, we need a lot of iron. Whoop, give me all of that. And then over here, we're going to say, oh, yeah, we're out of power. Let's go with... okay. Need one arm in, and then those... Now the design here is we want to keep this open. That way we can run this over and then down, and then I can immediately repurpose and just jig it over a little bit. And the jig over will allow me to start processing. Because, let's see, where's it at? This one, if we can get this processing going, we can get the purification chamber, which will allow us to immediately get pure carbon. And pure carbon has a much higher energy threshold, or saturation threshold. And so that will allow us to get better stuff, or have it last a lot longer, which is the ultimate goal of what we're trying to do here. Now, I just need a zillion of these. This is the part that drives me nuts. Because I've been running into this a lot, where it's like, I'll spawn a brand new world, and my my coal is nowhere near my water. So I either have to run water all the way one way, or coal all the way the other way. There we go. Cool. Alright, so we're going to plug you in. Like that. And this is nice because this will allow me enough space that I can throw down a couple buildings and then throw all the resources in them. So I can set up a couple like warehouses to be collecting coal and then have it pass along. How are we doing? I need more iron. Ooh. Hey now, we need 1, 2, and then we need more iron. And we're out of power. Go figure. At the moment, our production is being limited, which is why I'm trying to hurry and do this, because we're currently under our power threshold. We need more power immediately. So I can throw down one more dynamo generator. The dynamo generators are an early replacement for using the giant steam engines. They're like 10 to 20% more efficient with the same amount of fluid. Same temperature, same fluid. So instead of doing 2 for 1.8, you can do 3 for 1.9, which is better. Okay, and then there. There we go. Yeah, and as I say, we're right on our threshold. Right on our threshold, man. Perfect. Alright, so that plugs us in. And then I need a... Now, I'm using a bunch of mods. One of the mods I'm using, which I'm really excited for, is I have the electric furnaces mod, which skips a step as far as the coal, so you don't have to be running coal to your initial setups for iron and copper production. You don't have to worry about that, so it's a lot more efficient. And I love that because it just saves a bunch of time. I can prioritize the coal for more late game items and not have to stress as many building resources early game. So we're going to be doing that. I definitely want to throw down a couple more miners here, though. There we go. Cool. Now, I need to keep an eye on my pollution. So far, we seem to be okay. But I don't trust that. I want a radar up immediately. Because to be fair... Hey, Thermo Snake, how you doing, boy? What's up, man? How you doing? Alright, so that gives me a radar. Mainly I need, because my pollution is right on the edge of my map, I need to know where the nearest enemies are. So we need to have at least one of those. Usually I'll throw 4 down, but that's a little more expensive. Alright, so let's do this. We're going to grab one of you and 10 of you. That way I can throw down my first 2 or 3 sciences and get them out of here. So apparently there's an auto research function, and I think it's vanilla now at this point, where you can say, there's a setting where you can say, hey, I want to have this all the time. Nice. You're at your grandparents doing farm stuff. Cool. Farming, cutting trees, burning wood. Nice. Just helping, like, kind of clean up a bit. Need to text my wife real quick and be like, hey. Just letting my wife know that I'm streaming. Can't be here for long. You're on data on your phone. Ah. Well, don't run out all your data on your phone, but thank you so much for swinging by and saying hi. Cool. All right. Now, I'm hoping that this is going to be a little more fun, this world, because the issue I was having with that last one was it got very, what's the word? It wasn't bad, that last world that I was playing on, that my last couple streams had been on. I mean, it wasn't a bad world. It was pretty fun. My issue just was that I had put 36 hours in and I had hit none of the space stuff yet. And having that extra set of sciences was just nuts. And I was just looking at it, I'm just going, like, I was pooped when I had finished the first 5 sciences. You know, I'd fully automated the first 5 sciences, and the first of the NP util sciences. So I had done a ton of stuff, and I just got done and looked at it and went, meh. This one I'm hoping to have a lot more fun with. Let's get some of that going. And then I am not experiencing at all. Yeah. You get experience for technologies, enemies killed, spawners killed, and worms killed. But you do have to... I have plenty. I barely used it in this month, and it stacks up, so I've like 11 per month. I've the current one, but you have to watch in like 240p. Yeah, so it's a little bit messy. I understand. I understand. So the question is, how much experience is that worth? Not much. Not much. 12 XP for that. Aight. Basically what I've seen is the best way to level up your character I'm using the player stats mod, and I don't know what that does. Now Liverpool 1, Spur 0. We're going to be having those updates the whole time. I gotta go. Thanks, Thermo. I'll catch you later, bro. Thanks for swinging by and saying hi. I'll catch you when I catch you, man. And we got turrets going. Perfect. The issue I'm dealing with right now, it's going to be a little noisy. Hang on. Ah! The issue I'm dealing with here is trying to get my microphone in a place where I can easily access my keyboard without like smacking the mic, because every time I smack the mic, you guys get to hear it, you know? I know which cat that hair came from. There's a hair about this tall sticking off of my microphone. I just looked down. I'm like, why, hello there. Hey, Gigi. Is it Gigi or Gigi? How do you say that? How do you pronounce your name there? And hi, how are you doing? I'm doing well. How about yourself? I don't know. Okay. Hey, that works. Alright, the idea here is I just want to make... This is what's called poor man's science, right? So you go... The entire point is it's just enough to feed a little bit. Don't smack my poor mic. It's true, Tobias. I really shouldn't. It's bad for the skin, you know? There we go. There we go. Lovely. So that's just some basic science making there. Mic abuse. Beating the mic, man. Alright, let's see here. We're currently doing mining vehicle. That's fine. I do want to swap over to the one where I can start processing my coal. I do want to prioritize getting that one soon. Preferably very soon. So once that one runs out, we'll swap over. And then I have nothing here yet. I can build turrets, so let's throw a couple of those down. Yeah. Now the golden rule of turrets is one turret is a dead turret. You don't leave turrets by themselves. Their life expectancy greatly reduces if you leave them alone. Okay. Throw down 2 over there, and then I'll probably throw down 1 or 2 down here, most likely. Now, we're not polluting quite yet, but we do have rampant on, which means the second we can start polluting them, we're gonna start having issues. So we gotta keep that in mind. And then I can already start working on those as well. Good grief! There's a cat hair stuck on my glasses. Ah! I did it. I hit the mic. See, the problem was one of my cats was whining this morning, so I picked him up and smothered him. Because, you know, that kitty love, right? Whoop. So I picked up my cat and smothered him, and in the process, I got cat hair all over my face. And it's still, like, stuck in my beard and stuff. Lost to singing a birthday song. What a punk. Cat hair war. Oh, it's bad. My one cat, I'll be minding my own business. Like, I won't be doing anything wrong. I won't be being mean or nothing. I'll just be sitting there, and my cat walks in, and he looks at me, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and I'm like, don't you do it. And he just looks at me and, like, blinks twice. And I'm like, ah, cat hair. I'm, like, pulling cat hair out of my mouth. He just walks in and blinks at me, and I'm just like, stop it. I'm like, why? Why are you doing this to me? Yeah, so we're going to go with ore processing first. If we can get ore processing, then I can start auto running the pure carbon. And then I can also start setting up some really, really early, fast ore production. It does take a lot more power. Shave the cat. Yeah, but if I shave the cat, then my wife hits me. What are you doing? Whack. No, my wife and I don't beat on each other. That's a bad thing to start or to do. Yeah, better than waxing the cat. Tobias, man, what are you doing to your animals, man? Good grief. Lol. Chris is flirting with my sensor. He's using words that can be misconstrued in certain contexts. And apparently YouTube's got problems with that. It's like I'm like, what? I'm like, what's your deal, man? Alright, let's see. Alright, I need stone. Oh yeah. And then we're gonna set this guy up to just do its thing here. Like that. Because we're gonna need a lot of stone brick for the walls, and so like we're gonna need to just let that go. Just let it run wild, you know. The nice thing is it's gonna be really easy to set up a basic wall around our area. The hard part is that we're gonna want to expand it almost immediately. So kind of like that. That way we have a spot where if we need to drive a vehicle by, we can. At least till we can upgrade some better, or research some better wall stuff. Tape versus cat. Yeah. See, we've discovered at my household, because we have 2 indoor cats, that we have this non-stop ongoing war with the cats where we have to constantly be buying lint rollers to get all the cat hair off of, well, everything. So, and then our furnace, we always have to be keeping an eye on too, because there's so much cat hair. We got to make sure we don't accidentally like kill our furnace, you know. World War III. Yeah, pretty much. Well, World War III, except for the cats are a lot cuter, you know. Here, I'm gonna grab me and move me over. There. That way I'm not blocking out all the stuff going down on the side. Cuckoo. Cat bombs. I've seen voice. Now the idea here is I actually want to go for combat. The first 2 combats pretty quick. Because if I can get the first 2 combat upgrades, so the military 1 and then military 2 that requires the green science, if I can get those 2 down, I can immediately prioritize getting better robots, better combat robots, and I can go base hunting and then force a couple levels, which is nice. The whole point is I want to force the levels, because if I force the levels, then I can increase my my weaponry. The main thing is if I increase my player stats, if I level up a bunch. I don't understand what this is saying. Use reach distance to pick up items from the floor. I don't understand. But anyway, I'm going to be doing a little bit of movement speed, lots of crafting speed. Oh. That's cool. Some of that's pretty cool. Steel processing. You nerds, get to logistics. There we go. Alright, we want... Dope. Not much World War III, just with cats. I see. Hey, kitty. Hi. Speak of the kitty, there's one right here next to me. How you doing, man? How you doing, Fluffer? To be fair, they're good boys. They really are. They're really good cats. Which is good. I know a lot of people that have not so great of cats. Or not so kind of cats. Mine are really good. I was at work yesterday and the cat that's at my work, is not the kindest cat I've ever had to deal with in my life. Bless its heart. It's a violent cat. Prefers dogs. I like cats for their independence. That's why I like cats, is because they're a little more independent. The song has been sung and you're now 1 year closer to death. Thank you, Lost. Always can count on you for good news, right? Alright, so what I'm going to try and set up here... Uh-oh. We need one of these. What we're going to try and set up here is there is something very... relatively easy I can set up, which is really, really nice. And what it is if I take the... There we go. Get some power going. Anyway, so basically what I'm going to do is if I set up a little bit of ore processing first... So if I harvest some ore, immediately run it through processing, and then immediately run it through the smelters, then I'll get a higher output without as much hardware to run it, which is what I want to do. Wait, what? Best news is that you sang it once. Do you want us to sing it again? Well, I mean, you singing it again isn't going to make me die any faster, if that's what you're insinuating. If so, every person that I ever hated anyone would just sit there and sing outside their house for their whole life until they died. Because that makes sense, right? How are we doing power-wise? Okay. So the idea here is... Yeah, we're out. Perfect. Cool. Alright, so what we're going to do... Oh dear, they're full. Did we get logistics done? Yeah, we did. Yeah. Alright, so what we're going to do here is I'm waiting for one more to finish. Yeah. I am glad they changed up the assembly machines. So tier 2 assembly machines require steel now. Assembly machine 2s take steel. But they made it so that the tier 1s can craft 3 or 4 across instead of 2. It used to be they could only do 2, but then I think the whole reason why why they changed it was there was no reason to ever do tier 1. Like you would immediately research tier 2 in the first 10 seconds of the game, and then you would never use tier 1 ever again. So it's like, what was the point, you know? Alright, so we're going to grab... What mod am I using to have a different level? That one is the... I believe it's called the player stats mod. Hang on. RPG mod. The RPG system. Right there. The RPG system mod is the one that allows me to do that. This is the B-Day stream world. Sorry, my hand-eye coordination is not the best right now. I worked a graveyard this morning, so I'm a little pooped. I've been home, let's see here. I'm probably on about 4.5, 5 hours of sleep right now. I got in at 8 o'clock this morning. So I'm pooped. Oh, fun. Yeah. It's not bad. I actually really, really enjoy my work. And the graveyards are very relaxing for me because of the nature of them. They're not bad at all. But yeah. Alright, here. Let's do 1, 2, 3. And then I need a bunch of this. Okay. I'm going to start setting up a basic bus. And then we're going to, once we get the basic bus set up. What's my favorite game? My favorite game? Well, Factorio is the game that I have the most time in. By far. Actually, maybe Minecraft. I might have more hours in Minecraft now that I think about it. Oops. But yeah, I've got a lot of hours in Factorio. Factorio is a lot of fun. Minecraft is a lot of fun. It just depends. I like a little bit of everything. My big thing is I'm not a huge PvP fan. So, like, as long as it's not PvP, I typically enjoy it. But I'm also really big into the co-op games. So, like, I really like games. Have I played Quake? I have. Very long time ago, but I have. I need more iron. And I'm down to 3 of these guys. Alright. So check this out. We're going to go... Okay. You guys are going to make iron for me. Like that. And then I want... And then 6. Factorio is a lot of fun. Kagerath about the work simulator called Factorio. What? Factorio is a lot of fun. Kagerath about the work simulator called Factorio. Lol. Well, I mean, if you want to call it a work simulator, sure, go for it. This is a big, it's a resource management game. This is a really big resource management game that is heavily derived or heavily influenced by your ability to have efficiency in your workplace. So I guess you're right. But it's something that Kagerath is very satisfactory. Lol. Which is funny that you say that because I actually don't really enjoy Satisfactory. And the reason why is it's way too bland compared to this. Which is really funny that I say that because everyone's like, all my buddies are like, dude, you should play Satisfactory with us. And I'm like, no. I'm like, it looks really, really boring compared to this. Satisfactory is the current state. Factorio light. Oh yeah, very light. And I honestly believe it will eventually get to a better place. I really believe it will. The problem is, I don't... The problem is, I feel like it's going to look and feel like 7 Days to Die did. Where you're in the same state of underdevelopment, you could say. Where it's like, they released the game and then changed the crap out of the game. You know what I mean? And I feel like Satisfactory is going to be one of those where it's like... And here's the thing. I don't want it to be one of those where you play the game and you play it for 8 hours and then you beat it and you're done. And then you wait 6 months for one update to come back, replay it again, beat it in 9 hours, and then leave again for 6 months, and then come back again. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, Factorio is a little different though, because there's a lot you can do. You can sandbox the crap out of this game and just build. Like, you can have 700 hours in one world of this game and have never launched a rocket, just because you don't care, you know? So they need mods so the community can develop more stuff like Factorio. Oh yeah, if they were to, and honestly, now that you bring that up, that would have been a very smart idea. If they had built it from the ground up to, what's the game? Space Engineers? Like, if they had done like a Space Engineers approach, but immediately incorporate the mod making factor into it, it would have a lot more development and a lot more potential, you could say. But who knows? Maybe in the long run, it'll have a bunch of really, really good updates, and then I'll be able to step in and enjoy it. At the moment, though, it's just, it looks like, and let me share this thought with you, okay? Space Engineers means you guys to play. Lol. You guys want me to play Space Engineers? I mean, I'll do it. If you guys want me to play Space Engineers, I'll do it. Primarily, it has to be on my desktop, though. It's too heavy for my laptop. Well, it's not that it's too heavy. It overheats my laptop. It's very hard on the keeping everything nice and soft. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, yeah, I actually wouldn't mind playing Space Engineers. If you guys really want me to play it, I'll play it. Totally will. Funny thing about the whole Epic Launcher exclusive deal with Satisfactory, Steam API is already included in the current release. Lol. Yeah, do I like speedrunners? Speedruns? Not really. I'm a lot more of the journey kind of a guy. Like I love my games because of the journey. I don't play them to bypass the journey, you know? But the one thing I was going to say is, hang on, what was it? I had a thought and then someone said something and then I forgot. You speedrun? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of speedrunning. What was it I was going to say? What was it? Kronk, this is relatively important. What the crap was it? Something. I was gonna make a comment about there was a type of development that a bunch of big video game companies were doing, and it really, really hurt them because of the way they did it. And it was because they greatly reduced the amount of time people spent in-game because the amount of content that was available. Oh, no, that's what it was. Gotcha. Okay, so I feel like Satisfactory is like when Heroes of Might and Magic went from Heroes of Might and Magic 3 to Heroes of Might and Magic 5 or 6. You know what I mean? About to say that Tobias is a very sexy German dude. I'm sure you're plenty good looking in your own rights, man. But anyway, the issue that I have is where people go, we're going to build this absolutely beautiful game to look at, and we're going to sacrifice the gameplay over it. And that's what I feel like Heroes of Might and Magic 5 and 6 did that, where it was a really, like, it came off of, like, Heroes of Might and Magic 3 was one of the coolest games ever made ever. You know what I mean? Like, for its time, when it came out and what it was and what it could do, oh my gosh, such a cool game. And then you have Heroes of Might and Magic 5 and 6, and it just went to crap. Like, it looks nice, but it's not complex at all. Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's where like everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, Satisfactory." And I looked at it and I went, "Uh-oh. It feels like Heroes of Might and Magic, you know? That's what it looks like. It looks like they took a beautiful concept of a game and then made it way too pretty and not enough function." And I was talking with someone about that, and they said that, like, the big thing for me was just, like, everyone's like, "Hey, there's a crap ton of stuff in Satisfactory, and it's not even functional yet. Like, it's in the game, but there's nothing to do with it." And I'm like, okay, so you have resources and sciences and whatevers, and there's no point to it. Like, now, mind you, I'm always down for another big, I'm always down for another big game that's co-op based, or that's co-op friendly, and allows you to build all kinds of cool stuff. Like, I'm all open. I'm always open for a new sandbox simulator, because I enjoy them. I think they're super fun. They're really great to play with, like, a group of friends, kind of a thing. The problem is they can't cut corners, or else we the players feel it, you know? Oh boy, here we go. Ready for this? This processing right here gives a 50% bonus output, which is pretty freaking sick. But yeah, it's honestly one of the reasons why I love Factorio so much is, look at the graphics of this game. It's nothing special. I mean, like the graphics of that furnace almost feels like Minecraft. Like, that level of graphics. Okay. Okay, right. Okay. But it has so much replay potential and so much sandboxing, and that's where Factorio has always kind of taken me away from Minecraft. Is I'll dump a good 30-40 hours into a world of Minecraft, and then I go, and I'm officially out of everything to do. You know, I'm like, I don't know what to do now. Factorio, oh my gosh, I can spend so much time, and I can. The other funny thing about it is I can mod it the exact way that I like playing. And it was funny because I actually got in a fight with a mod maker over that, because the mod maker was trying to build mods that did they tried to overdo it with their mods. Like, they would have one mod, like this is in my brain how mods should work. Okay, mods should add to the game, right? Mods should not add to the game and change the game. Like, you should have game mods that change the game and mods that add to the game. They should not be the same mod. And what I mean by that is you should have mods that like for example, let's say that there's one where it's like you don't like the way that the biter AI works, right? So someone builds a mod to change the biter AI, okay? That is a game-changing mod. But you shouldn't have that same change the behavior of the aliens mod also change or also add like 3 or 4 turrets, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I want a mod that adds turrets, and I want a different mod that changes the game. I want them to be separate. And the reason why is if you have them separate, then you truly allow the user to customize their game and customize their experience. If you mix them together, you take away the ability to make those decisions, right? Alright, let's see here. I need some steel. To get some steel, I just need a little spot here to suck up some stuff. There we go. But anyway, this is going to be the basis of what we're doing here. Ultimately, and I'm just going to set this up as big as I can for my yellow belts, which is not very much. Let's be honest. It's not very much. I want to get enough that I can get my first... Oh, boy. Yeah, that's going to be a while. Let's grab 2 more of these. I like the picker mod, which adds a lot of other non-picker related stuff. You remember about a year ago, the not special graphics in-game pollution melted my PC. Melted my PC? I had in-game graphics that melted my PC? I don't know if I remember that. Do I have Space Engineers installed right now? I don't know. Oh, hang on. Let's see here. Steam, where you at? Library. Steam has been very, very iffy lately. It is not currently installed. Man, there's so many games that have come out that kind of feel good. Kind of. You know, like, they feel pretty good, but not, like they really succeed in some ways and then really don't succeed in other ways. Sorry, I got distracted by the featured and recommended on Steam. So, like, for example, there's a, like, Pix Arc. Sort of did it. You know what I mean? Like, sort of did what I like, but at the same time, sort of didn't. You know, like, it looks sort of good. For like I want a survival game, but I want it to be kind of cheesy, but I want it to have lots of building options. You know what I mean? It is a decent game for sure. Space Engineers, oh yeah. And I don't remember what my numbers are, so we're gonna do this for now. Okay, so it looks like I can probably get away with 4. 4 more, so like 8. I'm looking at how this comes out. What about the game Eco? Let me look. I've heard of it, but I'm trying to remember. Eco. It's actually on my wish list. Let me look at it. Is it possible to set it up where there's like AIs that do things as well, or is it all just you? Because if it's just you, that would be very overwhelming. But if you could have, if there's any kind of an AI function, or you can have lots of people going at the same time, then you could do some pretty cool stuff. Like, that one looks like a lot of fun. Eco does. My biggest concerns about it, I've heard that, like, a multiplayer game to make it work good. Oh, so, like, if you play that one as a multiplayer game, it works well. Yeah, I mean, if, like, Eco looks nice. It really does. It looks nice. So at that point, I would just want to get the right group of people to play it. And who knows, like I've been talking with a lot of like my viewers and friends and stuff just about a bunch of different game designs. Like there's a couple.
Happy birthday!
Oh my goodness! Happy birthday! Hi.
Happy birthday!
Hi. I'm streaming. What's up? Hi.
That's why we come see you on your birthday.
Oh, thank you. I'm only gonna be streaming for a bit, and then I don't want to talk about it. You can't see me. Okay, you. Somebody's throwing stuff. Are you gonna build a fire or what?
Do you want your present now or later?
Huh?
Want your present now or later?
I mean, I always want my presents.
Okay, I gotta go wrap it first.
Okay, that works. Alright, see you, sweetie. That was an interesting conversation. Do you want your present now or later? Now? Okay, I gotta go wrap it. Wait, what? Alright, let's see here. So the question here is... looking at our ratio here of speed versus processing. But yeah, that Eco game looks like fun. Legitimately, that looks like a very fun game. Unbox stream incoming. Oh, I think I already know what it is. Because I asked for it. See, there's a game... I wonder how hard it would be to... I'd have to just look, actually. Okay, so there's a game that I really, really enjoy. And if I could build a tabletop simulator of it, I totally would. Yeah, but you don't know. It's true. I mean, you're not wrong. I wish that someone would build an online version of One Night Ultimate Werewolf, like a video game version of it, which is where my thought was, like, if someone made like a tabletop simulator of it, or how hard it would be to set that up, because that's one of my favorite games, and that would be one that I'd be like, let's play, you know, and see how it goes, kind of a game. I'm watching this to see how well this works. I think I can still go 2 more. I think I can still do 10. What the heck, man? Whew, some of those are... okay. Anyway, the whole thing was, my wife's been trying to get me to eat my apple at work. and I keep not eating my apple at work. And it's less that I don't want to eat the apple and more of I just kind of forget, you know? And then by the time I get to it, I'm just like, meh. Oh boy, here we go. But yeah, that was the whole apple thing. There's a cat. Hi! What's up, man? How you doing, Putty Tat? It's my boy. Hey, kitty. Hi. How are you, sweetie? He's a good cat. This is Tigger. The orange fluff. An American eating healthy food, mind blown. Oh, please. 90% of my food comes out of a box. Alright, fine. Maybe not that much, but, like, enough, you know? Honestly, though, I'm surprised that you say the whole un-American eating healthy. Because we have some of the most extreme health nuts you've ever seen. America does. And that part's just... Hi! Do you want to come sit up here? Come here. Come on. Hey, bud. Trying to get the cat onto the chair next to me. See, the cat shed a lot, so I bought a bunch of the... Oh, and he's gone. Now she done it. What? What? I'm just saying.
Happy birthday!
Oh my goodness, it's a...
I know it's June, but it's Christmas wrapping paper. Yay!
Woo! Christmas wrapping paper.
Open it!
Oh wow, it's see-through. Hang on.
What?
Look, you can see right through it.
Is it seriously? Really?
Well, sort of. It's the green is the same color as the green screen, and so the camera doesn't see it. Oddly enough, though, because it's in front of my face, you still don't see my face, though. You just see the thing. Yeah, I bet it was. But you can reuse it for later. Okay, fine. Never mind. Hey, cat. Here. Enjoy. Here. So what I got was, I got the One Night Supervillain expansion to One Night Ultimate Werewolf, which is it's supposed to be the more family-friendly version of One Night Ultimate Werewolf, because it's more cartoony and less violent per se. And then the bonus pack 4, which comes with a bunch of just extra characters and stuff. But the idea was, and it was funny because the people said, "Hey, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for getting this for me. Thank you." The looks like you're gonna have to put more refinery for my iron. Ultimately, yes. This only feeds about 6. I think it's about 1 per, so I need 2 more technically to make this work correctly. Careful, it could probably sense fear. Okay, you're good. I love you. And we'll hang out more later, okay? And do birthday stuffs. Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to like go sneak out for some birthday dinner at some point. Well, that's fine.
Megan.
That's fine. No one said I can't go twice. No one ever said I can't be happy. Well, you don't have to come with me.
Okay, well then you can. No, but you can go by yourself on your birthday. Well, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too. All right, thank you, sweetheart. But yeah. So birthday stuff. Yeah. See, I picked Factorio because lots of people enjoy hanging out with me playing Factorio. Very few people enjoy hanging out with me playing some other games. So it's like, if I want you guys around for my birthday, I gotta play certain games. You know? Alright, logistical science is going. Let's get rid of that guy there. Yeah, so what I'm learning is you need approximately one of these. 1.5. Yeah, it's technically like a 1-to-1 ratio for how long these take to process 2 versus feed 2. Yeah, like no joke, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. At least that's nice. That's actually super useful, which means when you upgrade to a crafting speed of 2, you actually go to half, which is interesting as well. All right, I need 2 and 6. But yeah, there's just this place in town that I really. You must be happy on your b-day. There's a place that I really like to eat in town, and I go there way too much. But who crap cares, you know? There we go. And then I need an extra pipe. I had a desert world that I was playing in, and I had to do all of my piping using wood and copper because I didn't have any extra what was it? I had no... Oh, it was so far from the one location to, like, the water to the coal was so far that I had to use wood because I couldn't produce iron fast enough to keep up. It was funny. Alright, let's see here. And then I also need this one. Oh, no, you don't. Get out of here. Go figure. The spot where I don't have it. Get out of here. Did I ever do military one? Sure looks like it. Grab me some copper. Get me a machine gun. Let's set up more wall. Like that. And then what we'll do is we'll come to the wall like this. Get that out of here. There we go. That will give them pause when they approach. Get out of here, nerds. Alright. Must go. Have a good one and a happy birthday. Enjoy. See ya. Yeah, for sure. Tobias, we'll catch you later, boy. Thanks for hanging out with us for a bit. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure having you guys. Now I'm confused. Do I not have the loot chest anymore? What happened? Yeah, see. It's ultimately a throughput issue. We don't have enough iron being harvested, and we don't have enough going here, and don't have enough going there. And this never got set up, which also doesn't help, so. That should give us enough power to keep us going for a while. Really? Get off my radar. Get off my roof. And the problem is we have Rampant on, which means the enemies will just continue to find better and better ways to attack. Which means I have to fully contain my base. And then grow from there. Grow from there. Yeah, Yeah, see, we're not harvesting enough here, which means we're not processing enough here, which means we're definitely not cooking enough here. But that's okay. But that's such a good mod. I didn't say it was a bad mod. I just said that it's going to be a pain in the butt. Let's get some more turrets going. Let's grab a bunch of stone and keep getting more stone going. I need the bricks faster now because I need the base defenses going. Alright, so what I do is I go until the turrets can just see each other like this. Wait for one more to finish. Like that. Oh dear. Yeah, we'll be fine. It's just we're going to have to... See, and the funny part is I don't think we're even technically... We're just on the edge of polluting that group. Okay. And then if I can get 10, then I'll go half and half here. Like that. Okay, I want all that. And then I need 2 of you. And then I need a bunch of you. The idea is I'm going to start automating some ammunition. Automate some defenses here. Alright, what do we got here? Let's go about right there and rip that up. Yeah, see here, they're coming further around. They're learning. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. So what we need to do is continue to extend the wall. Electronics, huh? Let's do steel axe. That'll make my ability to build stuff in my base here a little bit faster. Put you there and put you 2 there. Like that. Cool. Do you know what I want for my birthday? I want for Thermo to redo that $1 a month sub on Patreon. That's what I want for my birthday. Because he only canceled it because I asked him to, because I was going to redo my my Patreon subset. And it, come to find out I didn't need to redo the one that he was in. Because, like, the way Patreon is set up is you can't adjust your Patreons or your tiers unless you completely get everyone out of it first. So basically you have to end the tier and kick everyone out. Oh boy. Whew. Yeah, definitely want to... Oh boy. But yeah, I'm just hoping to rebuild my subs through my Patreon instead of through Twitch, because I'm trying to get rid of the affiliate status on Twitch. And it's because ultimately what I want to do is I want to stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook all at the same time is the plan. And with the way Twitch's affiliate program is set up, it won't let me do that. Thus why I'm trying to get out of the program. And it's one of those things where it's like, Twitch is great. Don't get me wrong, Twitch is great. It's just, I want to continue to grow my channel, and my channel is not going to grow anymore on just Twitch alone. The games that I like to play, I need a little wider of a, what's the word? Biography. There's a word for it, and I can't remember what it's called. There's a word for it, and I forgot what it is. Never mind. Get out of here, nerd. Okay. Noticing you guys can have multiple arms in. Whoop. So let's definitely do that. And then I want to do a splitter. It's a good thing I started doing this when I did, huh? Good golly, guys. Like that. And then like that. But anyway, basically what was going on was I had a bunch of viewers that were watching on like YouTube, and they kept messaging me and saying, hey, when are you going to start doing more stuff on your YouTube? And I'm like, well, I'm trying to set it up where I'm... And the thing is, Twitch won't give you an option to auto-transfer your videos and streams over to YouTube. Pardon me. They won't give you the option to auto-transfer over at the end of them. Or after 24 hours. There's not an API set up for that, and they won't let you, just because it's like, why would they? They want to keep their viewership on Twitch, not on the other platforms. And the problem is we just have so many people that are watching on YouTube and on Facebook that it doesn't make sense to be basically owing allegiance to just Twitch when people on YouTube and people on Facebook want to watch as well. And Twitch has such a high rate that they pull, or such a high percentage that they take out of the subscriptions and everything anyway, that it's actually more beneficial for the streamer to not be partnered through them and then set up like their own Patreon or something. Mind you, a lot of people like the comfort, quote unquote, and ease of donating and stuff through Twitch, which is fine. I understand that. But Twitch takes a big cut of it, which means that either someone has to lose out on that situation. You know what I mean? Either the streamer is getting less from it, or the donator is donating extra to make up for the costs of that, which is where I don't like it. Which is where I'd much rather do my own thing than do that thing. So yeah, look at the dead bodies. There's bugs. The only thing I like about Twitch is the mini games we played. And a lot of those mini games will still be available. And in fact, I can even pause for half a second and set up part of those. I literally just have to launch both the apps that were doing it, because there's one for YouTube and there's one for Twitch. I just have to grab the one from Twitch, download the stuff for it, and then turn to Facebook and reopen it back up. Or turn to the Facebook one or YouTube one and redo it. Because at the moment, most people are watching on YouTube, right? Most of you guys are hanging out on YouTube? Yeah, almost everyone. But yeah, I will half a sec here, and I can even launch part of that. Let's see here. Here. First off, I want to save, because we haven't saved in a while. The problem is it's right here. Hang on. Quit. Exit. Get that out of there. Hang on. Get that over there. Why don't you move? Move. Hey, hey. That noise is the noise you're looking for. Now, here's the part that I'm struggling with, because I don't exactly know how to get it set up. And that's that the mini games and everything is one thing. The mini games is one thing. The credits across multiple platforms is another. So the issue would be, technically where you guys are watching through YouTube, the points and everything that you guys would be using, the pistachios and everything, would reset and start over. Because, like, when you watch on the Twitch side, you're using the Twitch stuff. When you're using the YouTube side, you're using the YouTube, like the profiles, you know what I mean? It's whether or not you're using your YouTube profile or whether you're using your Twitch profile, and they're not the same. Which means I can set it up. It's just you're gonna have to start earning. You're gonna have to start earning pistachios all over again. Which, I mean, if you guys are cool with that, I'll totally set it up and get it going. It's not hard. It just takes a second. Oh, also, I want to double my ammo production at the moment, just because I'm not real keen on that. I'm just looking at, because we're using rampant, the enemy attacks are much angrier. Go figure. Much more violent attacks on our base. Now, I'm confused. Something's missing. Did my loot chest not update? Hang on, now I gotta check. They updated this, so now this requires a different... have to have this to make it work. Now, Nate, would you much rather have the mini games running on the YouTube side versus running on the Twitch side? Because as of where we are sitting right now anyway, I'm not even streaming to Twitch because Twitch is ignoring my request to remove my thing. And here's the funny part. I have way more viewers. I have way more viewers on YouTube than I have on Twitch. It's just Twitch gave me the subscription button. But really, I should have just told them no and been... Here's the thing. If I had not taken the Twitch Prime or the Twitch affiliate status and had just done Restream or whatever to everywhere, I think our community would be probably 2 or 3 times bigger by now. Which would really open up game night for certain games, you know? So, like, when we want to do... I still don't see it. Loot. Oh, they changed it. The loot chest is now harder to get. Oh, all right. All right, hang on. YouTube bot? YouTube streamer. Oh, I have way more people hanging out with us on... I've always had more viewers on YouTube than Twitch. Always. But the problem was, YouTube doesn't pay jack to streamers unless they have some kind of a... something. Like, you have to have either a certain amount of viewership or a certain amount of whatever. You have to have something in order for them to open up for you like that. Now, I will admit there was a time when making money on streaming was important to me. It's not nearly as important to me anymore. Mainly just because the things that I care about most is having... I'd much rather that you guys were here with me more than having... Let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to set up the thingamajiggy on the side here. Good grief. Every time I sign in using my YouTube or using my Gmail, so like YouTube, Google, anything, anytime I do any of those, it automatically does like, good golly. Basically, it has like a zillion things pop up. Oh. The exact same process I just did to log in, I have to now do again to log it to create the bot. Okay, let's try that. Now hang on, I gotta set this up real quick. Okay, online intervals. Hang on. Okay. Now, they have a thing... And hang on, I gotta swing this somewhere else while I'm setting this up. Okay, so this looks good. I'm gonna hurry and keep throwing this down. Okay, you're done, phone. Thank you. Thank you for doing what you did. Okay. So basically what I'm working on right now is I'm trying to set up the stream stuff where you guys can start earning pistachios while on the YouTube side. Mind you, you have to start over from scratch because your users are different, right? And there's not currently a function where you can link different accounts with the app that lets you guys earn pistachios and play mini games and stuff like that. And if you think about it, in a way, I'm basically starting over from scratch, and that's fine. Like whatever, whatever. We're turning over a new leaf anyway. This whole ordeal is new. All right, let's see here. Let's go iron, copper. Oh my goodness, I leveled up. Wood, coal, and then I want that one, and that one, and that one, like that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, see, they're going to try to continue to... Luckily, once I get to here, it'll choke point them, and then even if they continue to try, they'll just get gunned down as they try to run by. Anyway, but basically, I will totally get it set up where you guys can earn your points again, earn your pistachios again, and that you guys can do the mini games and everything. I will still try to redo all of that. In theory, I think I can set up Streamlabs... Not Streamlabs. What is it? I'm gonna see about setting up where we have like the little characters running around the bottom. I'll try to get that set up again. Otherwise, it's just gonna be, I can have it running, but it'll just be a bunch of randoms down there, and it won't necessarily be you guys getting stuff. Right, and it seems like a lot more, and you gotta hate it when mods update and change is law. Yeah, the mod for picking up the items, like notice all the ore that's sitting on the ground. All of that, normally at this point I would already have a chest that would auto pick that up, but it's not there now. So, but anyway, it's just interesting because this game forces a high curve for defense. Like with this mod on the rampant mod, I'm going to be forced to prioritize base defenses. Like straight up, like I don't have a choice. I'm gonna have to, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to progress and continue to build. Whoop. I do like how they changed this up though, where as you mark things down here, it tells you your running tally of how many of them you have in your inventory. That's pretty cool. Yeah, some of these turrets are going to have so much stuff. Alrighty, let's go this way and see how far we want to go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want to get enough out so that I can build out past it and then go up. And then we'll wrap around the back. Now, honestly, I prefer this game with the combat. I prefer getting attacked. I prefer the enemies. That last world I was doing did not have Rampant because the space mod won't let you. It won't let you have fun. Anyway, and so, basically I didn't have any of that. And so, literally, I was really, really far in the game, and I had never been, like, I'd been attacked maybe 3 or 4 times the whole game. That was it. Like, oh dear. Get out of here. Nerds. Yeah, see? Now they're attacking up here. They're literally going to do that the whole time. They're going to just keep moving and manipulating until they can find more places to attack. Oh, there we go. Now they're showing up. I just wasn't seeing them really show up on the radar. Cool. Wait. No, don't you... Okay. Problem that I hate. There's this thing that this game does where it will... whoever did the Alien Loot Economy made a mistake when they made the mod. And the mistake they made is that they put in a feature where it tries to prioritize... It's something in the programming where it tries to prioritize using the alien ore to transfer into the ore that you need to build. So, like, for example, if you run out of coal, it'll try to use the alien ore to turn into coal to then make coal, instead of just saying you're out of coal. Which is really bad, because it means that the alien ore is very valuable. It's very rare. It's valuable. It takes a long time to get. And so, with Rampant, mind you, it's going to be a lot faster. But anyway, so typically it's really hard to get. And so to have it literally be like, oh, hey, we're going to just use it for coal is just mind-blowing, because it's like coal is so common and the alien ore is not. There we go. And then I want to continue to build guns. And I'm also going to keep working on this while we're doing this. Okay, so if I go to... Okay, we're going to go like that. Regular bonus, we're going to say 2. Moderator, we'll go 1. Good grief. On sub. The problem is some of these sub things, I don't know fully how to set these up yet, but I'll get them figured out. But on sub, what is it, 100? Really, 10k is the maximum it'll let me do for a sub? That's sad. And then those ones, it won't let me edit at all. Alright. And I am setting up where the pistachios will take into pistachios. Okay. So in theory, it's running. So basically, you get 1 pistachio a minute. Is the way it's currently set up. I might be adjusting that a little bit later. We'll see. But at the moment, that's where we're at. So. Okay. And then 2 there. Cool. So we're getting ourselves a basic wall going here. Yeah, I'm not scanning nearly as fast. I need to throw down more radars. Which sucks because they're power hogs, but whatever. That's a little scary. When the alien ore is on my side of the fence, you know? I'm like, yeah, I got this. I'll keep them out. And then I turn and look, and it's on my side of the fence. I'm like, oh my. There we go. It's going to greatly increase the power usage. Yeah, it did. Yes, sir, it did. All right, and then I need power. Okay, so we're going to put 1 space. 2, 4, 6, 8. What? See, and that's the thing. If you look, it's using the alien ore instead of stone. So if it ever runs out, it just auto says, let's spend your alien ore, which is not good. Hey, there we go. Chris S., congratulations. You're at 5 points. It just updated and showed you with some currency. And I'll set up the ranks as soon as I can. Problem is I need to launch the other one from Twitch and then run it. Which means technically, if you think about it, I could potentially have multiple going at the same time and they would work, technically. Like I could, although that'd be really weird. I'd end up having 3 Streamlab chats going at the same time. I'd have 1 for Twitch, 1 for YouTube, and 1 for Facebook. I'd have to have 3 different ones going all at once. But so far, it's given Chris some points. You're at 5 points. Congratulations. And then I'll set up the mini games here pretty quick. Heist, boss battle, free for all, duel. I want all of those on. Duel, actually, we never did duel. But heist, the free for all, and the battle. Those 3 we're all gonna have. And then what I'll do is I'll redo them again based off of the mods and moderators and everything. Because I had those literally based off of, like, I had custom made all of them so that they are based around TTT. So it'd be either murder or TTT. They're all the Gmod game modes. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like that. Cool. Oh, and I have a level to spend. We're gonna go crafting speed. I put like my first 10 points into, or 5 to 10 points in crafting speed, and then I'll put 1 or 2 into movement speed, just because it's useful to have a little bit of movement speed. But the crafting speed is invaluable for the early game. Whoops. Whoops. Stop doing that. It keeps moving things. Okay, so that's good there. then go back to currency. Yep. It shows Chris. It only shows Chris, though. Are the same commands still the same? Points is currently the way to check at the moment. Some of the commands are definitely going to be different, at least for now. The mini games are going to be different till I adjust them. So type, I think it's exclamation point pistachios, or exclamation point points, to see what you got. Something like that. And we'll continue to adjust and set that up as we go. Yep, there you go. There we go, Nate. So you know, Nate, it just logged you and gave you 5 points. So if you do it again, it should say you have some. And then for mini games, for heist, start delay 2, permission join everyone, minimum entries 1, maximum entries another. Viewer chance is 50. I really need to launch my other. I want to see if it will actually let me run both of them at the same time. Well, that's frightening. It's acting like I'm only allowed to have... Oh boy. Yeah, that's weird. It's acting like I'm only allowed to have one of them open at a time. So I gotta hurry and get my mini games off real quick. Alright, back up. There's no max entry on heist, so we need to do that. So it's exclamation point heist, cooldown 60 minutes. No, I want heist way more often than that. I want heist like every 5 minutes. Minimum entry is 1, maximum amount that. Start delay 2, everyone. Okay. Settings. 50, 60, 70, 65. Apparently it's called a sponsor on YouTube. Payout. I go 75, 100. Sponsors 200, which is the equivalent of that, and then 110. Okay. Back up. Okay, and then okay, and then that one's currently that one. Okay. So that's heist. Free for all. Okay. We're gonna go TTT for that one. Cooldown 2 minutes. Start delay 2. Cost. We'll go 50. Permission everyone. Minimum entries 3. Max survivors 2. That's right, because this is TTT, right? So there's a maximum of 2 traders, and then that's how many survivors you have, right? So free for all. I need to back up. I'm just grabbing my stuff real quick because it's all right. Cool. Okay. TTT is now available. And then cooldown. Cost 50. Everyone. Sorry, this is going to take a second. 10, 10, 5, regular, 130, 10, 10, 5, moderator, 180, 10, 10, 5, sponsor, 200, hot dog, attack, 10, 10, 5. Okay, and then sorry, I'm doing this in the middle of everything. Okay, so we got Turbo Snack, minimum entries 2, maximum entries 10, loot, health 100, 25, 49. Sorry, I'm doing this midstream. I hope you'll forgive me. Sorry, I'm hitting it. Who is this? Oh, huh. By the way, a Kill Ice. I don't think he's on right now. Wait, Nate, are you a Kill Ice? Or are you the other guy? Because Chris is lost, right? And then Nate. See, this is where I get confused because we're going from YouTube to Twitch to, or Twitch to YouTube to, you know what I mean? Everything. There. You are a Kill Ice. Okay. So you know, Nate, there is you, for being such an awesome supporter. One of the bosses in Murder, one of the killers in Murder is you. Just so you know. You're one of the killers. But yeah, you're one of the killers now. Congratulations. You've been immortalized in my stream. You're now a murderer. Nice. Yes, sir. And so you guys know, Heist is now available. We can start doing heists again. So the mini games are up. Murder, TTT, and... Holy cow. Well, what I always wanted, to be immortalized as a murderer in in someone's YouTube stream. Gotta love it, right? Okay. Oh, I never did, yeah, if I had done that, I could be doing that wall instead. But I would need 40 of the greens, and I'd have to make them myself. Luckily, we're going to be leveling up fairly quickly because we have the enemies constantly attacking, which is nice. Nice. This is perfect. It's going to go right behind this. And then we'll hit the corner and we'll turn and go up. And then it looks like I'm going to actually need to start toughening up this corner just because this base here is going to be attacking me so much. But yeah, so now that's all good to go. Sorry I did that in the middle of the stream. But now it's all up. The mini games are back up. Heists are back up. Now, heists are interesting because you can put... Anyone can join a heist, I believe. And anyone can win a heist. Like, heist is unique because the amount of people heisting does not affect the odds of winning. Okay? So heist is a little different in that respect, where you just play. Like, heist is probably the best one when it comes to, like, if you want to earn resources based on just what you have available. I was about to say, my sound just crapped out on me. But yeah, so kind of cool. Now, I don't have any of the side commands, though, yet. Or I have not put them over. In fact, here. I'll have to see... I'll work on those later. Anyway, there's the commands where you can talk to... I hear something. It's the weirdest thing ever. Cool. Alright, so now this is set up. We're starting to set up our wall, which is good. Oh, also I do want to upgrade these to blue arms. When it comes to defending the outer perimeter, I want better arms. Because I have seen enemies attack in waves to the point where you don't have enough to fight it off. Or like you can't feed the... If you have yellow arms, you're not feeding back into the guns fast enough. And that's a problem. Okay. But yeah. So that's all good to go. We've got that set up. You guys are now earning pistachios again on YouTube. Now, out of random curiosity, Nate, do you prefer watching on YouTube versus Twitch anyway? Like, is that a higher preference for you, just in general? Yeah? Okay. Good to know. It's one of those things that I'm trying to keep in mind and try to consider and keep going. So, and it looks like we're getting to that time of day where we're losing everybody anyway. It's a Saturday afternoon. Anyone and everyone that has anything else that they want to do outside of the stream is happening. So, but it was fun. We were able to have a bunch of people hang out for at least a while, which was great. And I am excited to start this new world. I think this is going to be fun. It's a lot easier for you? Okay. I do know that I have a lot of viewers that prefer watching on YouTube. Plus, it's easier to watch on multiple devices. It's true. It is much easier to watch on multiple devices. Twitch's stuff works on multiple devices, but it's a lot more finicky. So it's like it works most of the time. Oh boy, we're gonna be here a minute. Ah, sorry, cat hair. So I'm kind of excited because so with my new schedule change at work, I'm gonna be able to stream a lot more. So like for example, I worked this morning, right? So today is free. Tomorrow is what, Sunday? I have Sunday, Monday off, and then Tuesday I work at a graveyard. And then it's like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I work swings, and then it's like Saturday, Sunday I have graveyards again or off. So it's cool. It lets me... I definitely have a lot more freedom with this. Alright, boys. You guys go up after that, yeah. The hard part as far as like trying to grow the community is that there's only so much growth we can really accomplish during a set period of time. Mind you though, and here's the bottom line. The bottom line is, like, Twitch was the first, right? Twitch was the first large streaming service. The problem is how many people know about Twitch versus how many people know about YouTube. You know what I mean? So it's like right off the bat, if you want more exposure to grow to have more people around to watch, YouTube definitely has a much higher population to work with. And that's my thing, is as far as growing and running a channel goes, the more exposure you have, like the more people that have an opportunity to see your stream, the more likely you are to find people that want to hang out in your stream, which is nice. And you need to pay to really get more info on Twitch. What do you mean as far as getting more info? Are you talking about just the... What part are you talking about on as far as Twitch goes? I'm not sure I fully understand that. Are you talking about like the way they do their ads, or like the subscription? Ah. Yeah, my issue with the subscription on Twitch is just it's really expensive. Like they make a lot of money off of streamers, but the streamers have to have a lot of subscribers to get any kind of anything out of it. And oddly enough, just having one high tier patron on Patreon, one high tier Patreon patron is more than I was making with like 10 subs going at the same time on Twitch. Like, I'm making quadruple with one high tier sub on Patreon than I was on Twitch, like straight up. And it's because on this, through Patreon, the money actually makes it to me instead of to Twitch, which is cool. Because if you think about it, think about your sub that you had, right? Because you were a tier 3 Kill Ice. That's really crazy. Well, if you think about it, you were a tier 3 sub, right? Which was what, like $25 a month or whatever on Twitch. I got half of it. So if you think about it, your $25 tier or whatever on Twitch, I was getting $12 from. That was it. And now that it's through Patreon, I get 90 to 95% of it. which means you're actually contributing to the stream instead of contributing to Twitch. Note, Twitch makes a crap ton of money. They are making a crap ton of money. And I was doing the statistics. Like, I'm a very, very big... The reason why I play Factorio in particular is because I'm very good about efficiency. I'm really good about throughput and output and everything, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. And for example, I was looking at like Twitch's partner program, right? So you have affiliate program and partner program. Partner is where you actually get paid per view, and then there's more ads and there's more money and blah 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 blah, right? But anyway, I was watching that and I looked at it. The amount of people on Twitch that actually have partner is very low. Like a fraction of a percent actually get to partner. And the hard part about that is there's only so many. It's like, if you think about it, there's only so many people on Twitch, right? Between your viewers and your streamers, there's only so many people there, and the amount of people that are there that are reverse, if you think about it, the amount of people that are on Twitch that are streamers and the viewers is really high. So most of the people that are on Twitch are also, like, most of the streamers on Twitch are also the viewers on Twitch, which means there's only a certain number of people to go around, kind of a thing. So there's a limited amount of growth, there's a limited amount of everything. Wow, I really need to set up one copper one. And the idea is I'm just setting up my initial wall around my base. Once I set up the initial wall, I'll start to expand. I'm going to immediately expand because I'm going to set up a little bus system here to go out. The goal is to set up a big bus system going left. But I need to get at least basic science going. But the interesting thing for me is, if you think about it, you don't need a lot of viewers or a lot of patrons to survive. You know what I mean? Like, if you, like, for example, let's say you want to stream full-time, right? Or you just want to have enough streaming income that it justifies you spending more and more time in that, right? And that's the big one for me, is it's like, where I'm married and, like, my wife wants me to be doing certain things and spending my time in certain places. It's like, I like playing games, I like streaming, I like having this as an output for, first off, because it helps with my PTSD greatly, woohoo. And secondly, it has some some monetary benefits, right? By doing it just through Twitch, it's a lot harder to justify that because there's so much work getting put in and only a certain percentage of output for it. Like, I'm only getting so much for streaming on Twitch, and that limited amount affects the credibility to like, for example, to my wife, of me to continue to do it. Like, I seriously considered dropping, like, to be honest, I almost dropped streaming a while ago. And it was actually because of the whole the Twitch Prime that I continued. And it was the Twitch Prime part that I continued. And then I was talking with Schroeder the other day, because Schroeder streams a little bit on the side. Schroeder streams a little bit, Thermo streams a little bit, Lost streams a little bit, everyone streams a little bit. I'm the only one that streams a ton, or tries to stream a ton. And it's mainly because everyone else has, you know, jobs and lives that don't give them that, what's the word? Not everyone gets that luxury to be able to try to stream, because it's hard. I cut back a ton when I was on Twitch. And the reason why was, I would stream a ton and no one would watch, or I'd stream a ton and there was no benefit to it. Like, the hard part for me is I need a certain amount of people around to justify the streaming part. And it's funny because it's like, the games are going to be played regardless. Like straight up, I'm going to stream, period. It's whether or not I'm going to be streaming regardless. It's whether, or I'm going to be playing the games regardless. It's whether I'm streaming is the part where that kicks in. The more people that I have watching, or the more regular people, or the more, for example, supportive people that are watching. So like if it's like if I'm streaming and it's just 2 of my subs watching, or 2 of my admins watching, I'll stream all day. You know what I mean? Like if Lost and Schroeder and Thermo, like if I have 2 of the 3 of them watching me, I'll stream all day just to talk with them. You know, just to interact with them. And Kill Ice, you're now on, or Nate, you're now on that list too of people where it's like, if you're around to watch, I'll stream just to hang out with you, you know? Hey, kitty. A kitty came down to visit. The hard part for me is where it's like, if, and the big thing for me is, the more interactive people I have, the more I want to stream. If I have a ton of people that are like I could have 2 or 3 or 4 people watching, but if no one is saying anything, I'm probably not going to stream as long. But if I have people that are actively interacting with me the whole time, then I'll stream longer and more. And honestly, having your sub, or yeah, your Patreon sub, that's a huge motivator for me to continue now, and to and it's the way I look at it is, and it's part of the nature of Patreon, which is part of what I like about it, is it gives a lot of people a drive to continue to produce and create because of that. Right, and to be honest, you streaming helps me a lot to get back to your normal self. Are you recently out of the military, by the way? Are you recently out? Because you and I were talking about like PTSD and stuff the other day. Are you like recently out of the military or something? No, you got out in 2012. Okay, so you've been out for a while, but you just haven't readjusted well, is what you're saying. It's been not easy. Which I understand, because it wasn't easy for me at all. It was very hard for me to readjust. It took me the better part of... I think it took me the better part of 5 years to fully open up, and then it took another 5 years to be back to a normal person, or back to where I was stable, completely stable again. Like, it's not easy. It's really not. People have no clue. There we go. Yeah, really tough to readjust. Like, I'll be good, then something happens and I shut down. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's now from a also military background. That's normal. Don't let that overwhelm you, because that's part of the process. It really is. As much as it sucks, because I know it sucks for me too, and I still deal with a lot of it. My hard part is this: I will want to stream, and then I'll argue with myself about what game I want to stream, and then I'll just give up. Like, that's one of mine. Which sounds very silly, and in a way it is really silly. But that's, you know, that's me. That's one of my things I'm dealing with. And my issue is my moods are greatly affected by who is around or who is not around. So the more people that are around and the more people that are supporting me, the better I do and the happier I am. Which is part of the whole community thing. And just an FYI, Nate, if you have a bunch of buddies who are also struggling, bring them in. Like, bring them to the stream and have them hang out with us. Like, if you have buddies that are also struggling and, like, just need somewhere to hang out and survive, bring them here. Because honestly, I'm here for the exact same reason you are at that point. Like, me doing the streaming and me spending time doing this, this is my safe place. Like, this is where I come to get away from the world and the crap of the world. and it's not even that, like, and this is something that I talk with my clients about a lot, and I talk with friends about a lot, and that's most of us have a much better life than we think we do. It's just due to our issues, either mentally or physically or emotionally. It's really, really hard to remember and focus on that. And one of the biggest steps of getting over that, because like a lot of the mental stuff you don't have a ton of control over. You really don't. A lot of it you don't. Some of it you absolutely do. A lot of it comes and goes, you know? And so as far as that goes, it's okay to not always be in control and not always have that. That's fine. That's part of the, you know, it's part of the journey. Gosh, I need to get an automatic here. Oh, I'm stuck. There we are. But like, you know, it's that's one of those things where it's like, I actually, a lot of my job at my my work, is I am very much a, it's hard to say because legally I'm not supposed to be a lot of things. Part of my job is I'm supposed to not be a lot of things. Have I ever heard of the book called Tears of a Warrior? I have not. I have not heard of that. There we go. Open up another little one. I need a output here, so that I can go like this. And then I'm just going to set up like this, and we're going to go 2 in, 1 out, into a steel chest. For me, when I was in the military and like trying to just survive, Drowning Pool, the band, is one of the reasons why I survived. Oh wow, why did I do that? I want lots of gears. But yeah, Drowning Pool was one of the main musical groups I listened to that helped me survive. They did so much for me emotionally to help me survive. They have no clue. Your therapist gave it to me, and it helped me about the Vietnam vet who was a pilot. And actually, a good read. An easy read, but good. Okay. It's interesting how many of those. I do think it's interesting that those show up, or that those get moderated. Those messages do. Some of them I'm surprised that they get moderated, but I mean, a lot of them it's not a bad thing that they get moderated, just because it's like, it helps protect everyone involved, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's good. I'm glad it helped. A good read, which I'm sure you've never heard of because no one has, because it's so darn good. But I recommend to everyone, is there's a book called, it's a really easy read, called Jonathan Livingston Seagull. So this here, look up that book. It's a short read. It's 131 pages. You can get it on audiobook, Kindle, hardcover, paperback, whatever. It's like 10 bucks. Hardcover from $2. Wow, that's definitely used. But anyway, it's an amazing, that is one of my books. That is one of my go-to books for all of it. And it's a phenomenal book. That one is. The reason why that book is so good, that one that I just listed to you, the reason why that book is so good is it's a book about a seagull who decides to do things that seagulls don't do. Like, he sees all the other seagulls. He sees them doing what they do. Pick up the book. Okay. Lol. Why, thanks. One of my friends, she just messaged me on Discord and was like, happy birthday. Oh, and Bug said happy birthday too. Aw, shucks, man. But yeah. Jonathan Living Seagull is a great one because it's about a seagull, like the bird, a seagull, that starts doing things that seagulls don't do because he has an idea. He has an idea and he goes, I bet you I could do this. And he starts doing something and everyone starts freaking out on him. They're like, what are you doing? And he goes, I can do this. And they go, yeah, but you're a seagull. You're not supposed to do that. And it's about someone who is clearly defined and clearly labeled. You are this. This is you. You are this. And he challenges the mold just because he can. Because he thinks and believes he can be more or do more, and decides to start trying. And it's a phenomenal book. It's one of my favorites. Well, it sounds and looks like an awesome book. It is. It's a good one. The other stuff I have found that have helped me a lot when I'm struggling with PTSD, when I'm actively struggling with it, is there's a lot of Louis L'Amour books that help a lot. There's one called War Party. It's a short story collection, but there's one short story at the very, very end that's actually called War Party, and that one's really, really good. And then there's another Louis L'Amour called The Man Called Noon, and that one's also a really good one. Louis L'Amour is like from any kind of a moral or emotional level, like if you're just looking for something good to grow off of and to think and challenge yourself with, Louis L'Amour does a lot of books like that, which are really good. Like, for example, there's a lot of his are ones where it's like The Man Called Noon is one of my favorites, and that one is the guy wakes up, like, this is the first 10 seconds of the book. The guy wakes up, he's laying in an alley, he's got a bullet wound across the head, he took a bullet across his forehead, and he can't remember who he is. But all he knows is he's got to run, right? And so he takes off running. And then it's interesting because the main character is able to look at himself and analyze things about his previous life based on how he handles things. So, like, something happens, and he just naturally knows how to take care of it. And he goes, huh, what kind of person knows how to do this? And then something else happens, and he goes, huh, what kind of person knows how to handle that? And so he slowly is piecing back together who he is based on what he can and can't do, and how he does and doesn't handle situations. It's really, really fascinating. I'm a thinker. I'm a critical thinker, and an engineer, a problem solver. I'm a lot of things. I'm the guy that doesn't fit anywhere, which a lot of us military guys are like this, and it's because we think too much. We overthink things, and overthinking is not a bad thing. It definitely makes it harder for us to fit the mold, right? Because of that. Because oftentimes we'll get into things or think things that are way above our pay grade, and that's fine. What happened here? Military science pack. Oh. Here, hang on. Let's not allow green or anything else yet. Yeah, look at that. Look at how boring my science list. There's only like 8 sciences now. That's what I get for getting rid of that space mod. It's all good. Alright, we're just about walled in. I'm just trying to get us walled in real quick because we've got Rampant on, so the enemies are not forgiving. Yeah, see, and we've got 2 more bases that as we get any bigger, we're going to start polluting. The problem is I upped the enemy, base saturation, so they're 30% bigger than they would be normally. So I made it so they... Did I change the spawn rate? I don't remember. I'm trying to remember if I made it so they spawn less or if they spawn more. Or, like, I think I might have made the starting space just a touch bigger, like 10% or 20% bigger. Like the starting radius or starting area. But then I also made the enemy bases 30% larger. And we'll just have to see how that kicks in. It does sound interesting. That book is phenomenal. That's one of my favorites. I really need to put together a bunch of stuff for that and be like, these are my favorite books, these are my favorite movies, these are my favorite this is my favorite that. I really should put together a bunch of that because a lot of them I think would help a lot of people too. Just because I like who I like for a reason, you know? Let's pick up what we can get here. I need to get as much of this as I can. Sweet, 125. What are the hyper modules at? 20? Hot dog. I'm going to be able to get a bunch of them. Sweet. Alright. And then, can I set up I need just one of you. We'll dump that in there. And then I need a blue arm. So what I'm doing here is I'm grabbing all of this and I'm going to turn them into hyper modules. Like that. I'm going to collect the alien ore, turn them into hyper modules. So the hyper modules are cool because they're a mix of productivity and blue modules, except for they level up as I level up. So like right now I'm at a 1.52 on my hyper module level. Every time I level it up, it increases the speed and productivity by an additional %, so it's the same. And then twice as much energy consumption, twice as much pollution. Pardon me. Percentage-wise. So basically, like at level 10 hypermodule, I have speed of 10%, productivity at 10%, pollution of 20%, energy consumption of 20%. But it takes time. There's only so many hypermodules I'll be able to get before it starts getting really expensive. Eventually, it gets like, I think every level up, it increases the cost of the modules by like 10. So like by the time you hit level 10, you're doing like 120, something like that, 120 iron or alien ore per module by level 10. So they get really expensive, and the only way you get them is through combat. So I have to go out and attack things in order to continue to get more modules. So but it's cool because in the long run you get to where you'll have an electric furnace with 2 hyper modules in it, and you'll hyper module the cooking of the ore to make more ore. So you'll have a 20% productivity or whatever to get more, and then you'll feed those directly into a building, making hyper modules that have hyper modules to make the hyper modules. So eventually you get to where you can compact or compound it, and you'll get extra modules for free over time. So you get extra ore for free, and then extra modules for free, and then you can put them in absolutely everything. So if you want to play, and I do it because instead of me having a base that's this big, by the time I'm done, my base is like this big by the time I'm done. It just shaves about 20% of your total base size down, which is nice. And it's cool because it lets you get certain, more of certain items earlier, which is nice. Working on heavy armor, huh? In fact, can we do that one? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I need more copper. And notice I have iron set up. I do not have copper set up yet. I'm running my entire base off of 2 drills doing copper. That's it. It's nuts. Cool. But yeah. A lot of really good books. Hey, hey. I have a hyper module. Notice though, at the moment, ooh. typically I put the hyper modules in my science packs or in my science labs, and then I put them in my assembly machines creating science. That's the most valuable place you can put them. I've also talked to people and seen, just in general, there's a lot of good places to put it. Putting it in the science is one of the best places to put it. Putting them in, like, for example, where I'm going to go through 10 million gears in a game, if I put, like, hyper modules in both of those, then I would get 20% for free, which would be another option in late game kind of a thing. But yeah. It's just interesting because the alien loot economy is one of those mods that people are like, people talk a lot of smack on it. They're like, why would you do that? That's like, you're cheating so hard to do that. And I'm like, for how insanely overpowered some mods are in the late game, I don't think it's overpowered at all. It's an investment. You have to invest heavily into this, and in the late game it's super powerful, but you have to invest in it. It's not one of those that you get to the late game and it's just super overpowered. So the more you kill, the better the hyper module. Oh yeah, so like right now we're at 450 kills. I'll be at 10k kills before I hit hyper module 10 probably. Like late game, it's definitely one you have to work your butt off for. Mind you, there are mods that work well with it though. For example, doing the robot army, so being able to make the robots. The robot army is easily one of the best mods you can mix with alien loot economy, for the simple fact of you can deploy a massive army and they'll just go out and kill bases for you. Mind you, you need to get the loot chest, which they changed now. It used to be the loot chest was available from the very beginning. Now you have to have a certain level of robotics to get it now, which sucks, because it means there's going to be a lot of alien ore just laying on the ground. Mind you, though, it scans the entire world for alien ore and collects it. So, I mean, once you have it built, once you get to it and place it, you're done. And then you just send out your armies, and the armies will kill for you, and, you know, and then the chest auto collects it for you. So there's plenty of options, and there's plenty of growth for it in the late game. It just takes a while. Yeah, I really just want to finish that loop just because it's, you know, I'll grow my base way too much by accident, and then I'll blink and I'll like, there'll be a giant hole ripped through my base. Oh nice, that makes it easier. Oh yeah. Yeah, there are certain things that mix really well. The nice thing is that in theory, I'm not sure where it's at, but some of these shooting speed and damage effects, bullet damage, gun turret damage, shotgun damage, dart turret damage, dart turret ammo. Wait, what? Wow, the turret and the ammo. That's interesting. Huh. It's interesting. As in theory, as we upgrade those, like the ones that like upgrade the turrets and stuff, as we increase that technology, it will also increase the damage of the robots that we send out. So like in theory, when I start sending out the fully upgraded laser robots and send them out, they will have bonus attack speed and bonus damage based on the laser turret upgrades, supposedly. I believe so. I believe that's what it was doing, which is super helpful. But it's nice because it kind of overrides a lot of the AAI stuff as far as a certain amount of those mods. Just because like you don't need the AAI to run the robots. So like instead of having like the idea behind the AAI is you build a bunch of like tanks and then you automate them and then send them out to attack using programming and stuff. This one, the robots here, they basically run off the biter AI, and then you just have a tool to deploy and a tool to pick them up. And then you can, technically you can like wrap around them and be like, you guys, and select the group and then say attack here. Got a question. Do you shut off automatic update for your game and mods when you playing a long play? Sometimes. The answer is sometimes. It depends on what you're doing. There are certain ones that I absolutely do. Like, for example, this one that I'm playing right now, I went to the mods folder, whatever, and I said, or the Factorio folder, and I went, I want to be on this version of the game, and then I just grabbed all the mods I wanted for that version and put them in. I will check the mods when they update, though, and see if the mods that are updating are ones that are okay. There are some where it's like, if this mod updates, I know it's going to change the game, or it's going to change recipes, and then I'm going to have to rebuild a bunch of stuff, and I might choose to not. I actually updated all my mods this morning, but I also got rid of a bunch of mods, too. I got rid of the space exploration mod. And the reason why is I was 36 hours in and had yet to touch it. I was 36 hours into my game and hadn't built a single thing from that mod yet. And it's a huge mod. And I just looked at it and went, eh. I was like, I don't think that's something I really want to bother right now. And here, I want to check out Rail. Okay. Rail is still changed in recipe. Ooh. Hang on. Dark Matter still didn't. Dark Matter wants a higher base level, which doesn't make sense because of what I'm on. Anyway, let's see here. I need... Electric Train finally updated. Please give me that. Okay. Restarting. Yeah, I know. Either Angels or Bob's mods changes the whole way it's done. Yeah. Some of those big ones do that every time. Which is why you got to be careful. Like, I know you either, like, you don't get slag anymore. You get 3 types of the same ore. Weird. It's interesting. Play, load, this one. The nice thing is, with Factorio, a lot of those mods, you can add and remove them at will. Pardon me. If they specifically add a resource, even that's okay. You just have to travel out past your current loaded areas to find those ores now loaded in. Unless you have something like the quarry mod installed, and then you can use the quarry to get ores as well. I actually really enjoy doing the quarry mod. One of the gameplays that I've done in the past, which is a lot of fun, is I'll do a world where I'm like, I'll either start on an island and I'll set all the resources to minimum, and then the whole point of the game is I run out of resources almost immediately, and then I'm using the quarries to spawn my resources for the rest of the game because there's no ore. Like, you're on an island and there's no ore. So you end up using dark matter replicators and quarry to assimilate your resource patches. Which is cool, because then you end up with a Factory 3 building full of Tier 3 quarries producing, like, iron ore, and then it feeds out. You know? Which is cool. Definitely very different, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm not going to feel good about this until it's closed off. So here's what we're going to do. I need to build myself a better stone area here, because this isn't fast enough. Ooh, it's one of my favorite songs. Yeah, so, alright, one of the games with the coolest soundtracks ever is Sanctum 2. Sanctum 2 easily has one of the coolest soundtracks I've ever heard in my life. That and, certain songs on the Endless Legend soundtrack is also really, really good. Here we go. Let's see. Oop. But yeah, Sanctum 2 has a really good soundtrack. That's what this song is from, is Sanctum 2. Sanctum 2 is super cool. It's a fun game anyway. Really hard. I get my butt kicked in that game all the time. Ugh. And it's one of those where to beat the harder levels, you have to have friends play with you. You can't do it by yourself, or at least not well. Like, you have to have the exact right thing to get through it. I was watching someone play Factorio playing one of the situations, and you're underground and you have to build support, or you get a cave-in. What mod is that? I think I've heard of that one. And I would give that one a try. That one actually sounds kind of fun. Here, let me... There we go. Just get a bunch of this going here. Yeah, I need a lot to finish my wall. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. The Factorissimo mod really brings a lot out in this game. Like, being able to... Like, the hardest part for me is space management. You're trying to manage this base. You're trying to manage all these resources. You're trying to manage this space. You're trying to manage everything. Having it look good or having it all fit together like a puzzle can be really hard. A lot of people, when they build their train worlds, and it's, to be fair, it's like the only way you can do it, is you have to build it where... Sorry. My hat is sinking on me. There we go. Much better. Anyway, basically what'll happen is you'll end up building a train world where your ores get harvested and then go get delivered to this location to be smelted. And then you have trains full of iron ore, then traveling. You'll have one coming over here to do this one thing, and then trains coming over here to do this one thing, and the trains going over here to do this one thing. The one thing that I have discovered, though, which is super, super good, is if you prioritize your... Let's see. The one thing I've discovered, though, is if you prioritize putting the bare minimum resources to a location, you have better results in the long run. And what I mean by that is, instead of having a bus or a train delivering green circuits to a location, instead of doing that, set it up where you have... Sorry, resetting this. Basically, if you set up a train to bring just the most basic resources to a location, and then you only give the most basic pieces to it, it does better. Red Mew and the scenario called Diggy. There we go. Like that, and then I want an input. But anyway, I found personally that it's better to just send the most basic natural resources to a location and then build exactly what you need on the site. And the reason why is otherwise you end up with this giant bus of like blue or purple circuits. I call it blue and purple because if you put it next to blue, it's purple. If you put it next to purple, it's blue. It's one of those colors, you know? But anyway, so it's like, if you take just the most basic building blocks and send them to a location and then build exactly the amount you need there, you don't waste any extra resources. You don't end up with this giant bus of just crap. You know what I mean? Trying to decide if we just lost everyone. And if we did, that's fine. I'll just end the stream and go hang out with my wife and go get dinner for my birthday and stuff. It's my birthday. Oldest one in the room. I don't mean to say that meanly, but it's still funny. There was a client that lived with my family for a really long time. It was really funny. In the TPS. Yeah, the main thing that I've found about it is it saves you a lot of time. Because, like, building a giant bus to do just green circuits and then trying to always ship green circuits everywhere is a ton of extra problems. Most recipes that you're going to be working on require at least iron and copper anyway. So sending iron and copper and green circuits to a location is just stupid. Send iron and copper and then just set up exactly the amount you need to build there because you're already sending iron and copper there. You're just sending an extra train car full of green circuits that don't need to be there. And then you end up with a bulk of green circuits at that location and on that train and on the loading bay for that, you know? And I think a lot of people forget that is it's like, yes, you're dealing with thousands. Like, you go to your production, you get to the point where it's like, yeah, we're producing 900,000 iron a minute or whatever, and that's fine, but you still don't need to waste it in storage containers. So, how are we doing power-wise? We're doing pretty good. So power is good for now. The goal here is this is big enough that I can throw a second one here. I'd just shift this over a little bit. Throw another one down, facing this way. Pardon me. But yeah, I'm probably going to get off here in a minute because we've been streaming almost 3 hours, and I was going to go spend time with my wife on my birthday. On my birthday. Sorry, I laugh about the oldest one in the room thing because there's this lady that lived with my parents. My parents have worked with adults with high functioning or adults and children with autism my entire life, and my job is I work with multiple adults with high functioning autism. That's my job. And the client that lived with my parents for like 12 years, and she just recently moved on to another place with like her mom or whatever, and she had this thing she would do that was really funny where she would step into a room by herself. So like you're in the kitchen, she's in the living room, and she would step into the living room and say, oldest one in the room. And you're like, you know, you lean over and look in the room and she's in the room by herself and she's like, oldest one in the room. And it's like, well, I mean, she's not wrong, you know, she's not wrong, but that's still a kind of a silly thing to say. Plenty of giggles from that lady. There's this thing that happens with so most clients that are mentally disabled to some respect or another. Oh, for sure. They typically are on some amount of medication for regulation, and typically they're dealing with like seizures or they're dealing with some kind of bipolar or some kind of whatever. There's typically all kinds of stuff that comes with that kind of a health condition or mental health condition. Anyway, and so something that happens all the time is due to stresses and due to how the client handles things, like their weight will change drastically, and medication is given based off of weight and based off of duration. So like when someone is given a medication and they go, you know, they're on this medication and it's for seizures, they go, okay, well, they need this size of a pill, this much dose or whatever, and it's to last so much time, and it's based off of their body weight on how much their body will absorb or how fast it will absorb. So like, and then whether it's a capsule or whether it's a pill, like whether it's a powder pill or whatever, or whether it's a capsule or a gel or the different types of medications are designed to be absorbed by different parts of your body. So like, for example, capsules or gels typically are designed to last into your intestines, and then they dissolve and then are absorbed in your intestine. Some are the powdery ones, like your ibuprofen and Excedrin and stuff like that, and Aleve. Those ones typically are designed to be dissolved and absorbed in through the stomach, while other ones are designed to be dissolved in the intestine and absorbed through the intestines. Interesting how that works, right? Learn something new every day, right? But anyway, despite that, though, the something that happens quite often is as clients and as people are going through different weight and hormonal changes, their medications become imbalanced because they've now lost a lot of weight. or gained a lot of weight, and so now they're improperly medicated, right? So you have people where they're like, they were, say, 200 pounds, and then they suddenly have, like, they get sick or something, and they drop 50 pounds. Oof. Right? Over a month, they drop 50 pounds. And now their meds, they're now being over-medicated because their meds are for someone who's 200 pounds, not 150. So one day, client that was living with my parents had been sick, really sick for like 2-3 weeks. And so she finally kicks the sickness, right? And she's like, okay, I'm better. But she was over medicated. And so one day we're sitting there and she's waiting to go to the doctor's like the next week to get remedicated correctly for her doses. And so like we're sitting there and the lady comes in and sits down and we turn and look at her and she's doing this. And we look at her and we're like, you okay? And she goes, uh-huh. And we're watching her and we're like, she's gonna fall out of her chair. And like you can see her, she's slowly sliding in her chair. We're like, she's gonna be on the floor here in a minute. But yeah, it was funny. We all laughed, had a good time. It was funny. But it's like, yeah, she definitely needs, you know, her meds adjusted because she's now over medicated. But yeah, it's just funny. It's just funny. From a person that has lived with adults and children with autism my entire life, there are certain circumstances and certain things like that happen, and they are so freaking funny. Like a prime example is, so I have 3 siblings with autism. One has brain damage and autism, and then 2 of them have RAD and autism. And RAD is really rough. It's really hard to deal with for most people, to be fair. It's very hard to deal with. Anyway, and so what happened was my sister, she's like 23, 24 now. She's like 5 years younger than me. She's autistic and has brain damage, and because of a previous family, her biological parents before we adopted her. But anyway, so funny story. She has this thing where, like, you know, she can't talk. Okay, cat. Like, she can't talk, she signs, and she uses certain noises and mannerisms to communicate, right? And so what happened was we take her with us on all kinds of, when I was little, in middle school, high school, we took her on all these trips. One of the trips we took her on was we went to, like, Disneyland and Disney World with her. And it's hilarious because we get there and it's like, so it's like, okay, everyone onto the moving escalator. You know, it's like a flat moving escalator, and she'll seize up. She's like, you know, it's moving, and she doesn't like it. So like, you kind of have to like grab her and like kind of give her a hip, you know, kind of hook your hip on hers and kind of pick her up and set her onto the escalator. So and then she like latches onto it and goes, you know, watching it, and she like turns and looks at you, and I'm like, I know, it's not comfortable, it's not fun, just hold on. And she's just sitting there watching you. And then she gets to the other side and she like chicken jumps off, you know, trying not to fall. It's like, that's funny. The one day we're sitting there and we got to this location, and so it's like my dad and I go first, right? So it's like me, or my dad, and then me, and then like my little brother, he hops on. It's a downhill escalator, right? And so it's like we get everything get going, and then out of the blue, my sister with RAD is the one that freezes up on the escalator. And my mom's like, ah! So my mom grabs her and hip thrusts her on. She's like, I don't have time for you to be the one freezing up on the escalator. So she grabs her and kind of hip thrusts her on. She's like, okay, she's on. She turns to grab my sister. This is the one with the autism and brain damage. Reaches out to grab her and pull her on and misses. Ugh. And so now we have our entire family on the escalator going down, facing up, looking at my sister who's standing at the top, and she's going, and she's like frozen, you know, and she's like, and so like the family behind us is like, can we help you? Do you need help getting on? And she's just frozen. She's like, oh, just freaking out. And because we're horrible people, right? Because we've been around autism our whole lives, we're on the ground laughing. We're like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. And the people behind us are probably like, this is an abusive family. These people are horrible. And we're like, hang on, jump onto the up elevator or escalator and get back up, grab her and shove her on. And it's like, all right, come on, grab her arm, pull her on. And she's like, ugh. She gets on. And then once she's on, she's like, okay. It's really funny, though, because we'd go on these trips, and so, like, we'd go on, like, for example, Jurassic Park, the ride, right? We're doing Jurassic Park, the ride with my sister, who's autistic. And so, like, you see her on the ride, and she's going, and then we get, you know, we go up the thing, and then if things are jumping out, scary, and shoosh, we get splashed, and then we turn the corner, hit the very top, the T-Rex goes, "Rawr," and tries to bite our head off, and my sister goes, "Bah!" And then we go down and sploosh, hit the water, and we all turn and look at my sister, and she goes, "More?" And we're like, all right, so we turn around and get back in line and do it again. But it was funny because it was one of those where, like, we'd always be like, okay, mom and dad are not buying pictures. We're not buying pictures of us, you know, going down the ride. We're not doing that. And then we turn and look and we see the picture of my sister's face, the, you know, autistic sister's face. And we're like, we take one look at the picture and go, gosh dang it, now we have to get it. Like, that's priceless. That's a priceless picture on her face, of her face, you know. But yeah, a lot of fun times with that sister. Alrighty, let's see here. I'm thinking, because it's right there, I'm going to redirect traffic on the ammo here. So we're going to go this way like this, and then when we hit the other one, we're going to change direction on it. And then we'll back feed it around and then feed it back in. Because we want to keep it on the correct side of the rail. Hi, kitty. My kitty's like, will you get off and, like, come hang out with me now? Here, let's go. Okay. There we go. So now we've changed it where it's all one continuous circuit. And the nice thing about a continuous circuit for, like, ammunition like this is you can upgrade this to make armor piercing ammo, and then what you do is you just have this feed over and dump in, and then you have it do AP ammo first, and then you prioritize the AP ammo on, and then pull the regular off. Now I shouldn't add a chest. What, of ammo? I don't need extra ammo. Ammo is the one thing I don't really have to stress about in this, because ultimately the goal is to set up the, oh dear, the long-term goal of this world and of any of my worlds with this is to automate the robots, automate the android, or what are they called? Androids? Robot Army. The idea is to automate robots from the Robot Army mod. And then instead of me having to go over with a bunch of turrets and 10,000, you know, ammunition on me, instead I just show up with like 100 robots, and then I just place them around the enemy base, and they wipe out all the enemies, and whatever ones get destroyed, whatever, pick them all back up, go to the next one, drop them again on top of them. It's like turret creeping, except for they don't require ammunition fill up. So it's really fast. And I can ultimately get them set up and then just tell them to go, and they'll go on their own. They'll go fight all the enemies by themselves. I don't have to babysit them, which is nice. Anyway, we're at 250. I'm going to call it here. We'll save this, and we'll come back to this another day. We now have it set up where I can start doing... I saved, yeah? Save. Yes. Okay. I have it set up now where we do have the pistachios on the YouTube side. So if anyone who's watching on YouTube... Let me check our currency here. Yep, so we've got me... Nate and Chris are all here earning pistachios. For some reason, I'm not earning as much. Chris, that's lost. He took off already. So, but anyway, as people come and go, we'll be able to start earning pistachios again and start playing mini games again. This time through YouTube instead of through Twitch. Well, have a aggressive day, but thanks for a good time. For sure, man. I will be on. Let's see here. I will. Tomorrow's Sunday. I got church, and then I'm probably going to hang out with my parents, because I haven't been to my parents' house in like 2 months because of work. I've been working every Sunday for 2 months. It's driving me nuts. I will probably not be on tomorrow, Monday, most likely I will be. Tuesday, most likely I will be. Let me double check my schedule real quick. And we'll decide. Oh, leave a like, follow, subscription. Teehee. Let me check my schedule here. Ooh. 8 to 9 meeting. Graveyard. Swing. Swing. Really? Hang on. I just got my schedule for the next week. Okay, so today's Saturday the 1st. Sunday I have off. Monday I have off. So Monday I will be streaming. Tuesday I have a graveyard, so Tuesday I'll be streaming. Wednesday I have a 4-hour, so I will probably be streaming at least an hour or two. Thursday I probably won't be on. Friday I might be on for a little bit. Saturday I'll definitely be on. So I'm going to be on a lot more now. That's the short week. What's this next one? Really? I'm gonna have to ask about that. Okay, well, anyway, I'm taking off. You guys have a great day. I will be back on Monday for sure. Sunday, hit or miss, most likely not, just so you know. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging with me. As always, it's a pleasure. I will catch you guys later.